Okay, hello everyone. We are live here on the Unacademy's platform, and we are in conversation today with one of the finest authors of Indian chess and world over, Mr. Praful Zaveri. Welcome, Praful C. How are you?
Sagar, fine, thank you. And it's a honor for me to be with you on this platform. You are a very big name. Whatever chess is in India today, it's because of the efforts taken by you. So I feel honored. Thank you very much.
Uh, Sir, today I want to call you sir. That's how I address you, and it couldn't be more apt because it's the Teachers' Day. And in all my streams, I have so many people who join in and ask me, like, how should we learn chess? What is the right way to learn chess? How should we begin on this journey? And my recommendation to everyone has always been get chess course. you know
Thank you.
Get chess course by Praful Zaveri, and you can see my streams. Whenever people have asked me, this has been my answer to them, and it is such a great thing that today we are going to talk about this wonderful book of yours and what you are going to do with it on an academy platform.
Yes, thank you, Sagar. So, first of all, honored and privileged with the respect shown. I think not means no words to express my thanks to you. Whatever respect you have given me all these years, it is simply overwhelming. And I hope I'll come up to the expectation
Yeah.
in this regard.
Well, you have already done a great job. So the thing is, Chess Course is a book written by Praful Zaveri, and it is a book which has sold over 100,000 copies. Is that true?
Yeah, it has been true, and I think Goddess Sky Sai's blessings on the book. I never imagined in my wildest dream when the book was released. It was more, to fulfill students' what we say aspirations to become a good chess player. That this book was written, and never did I imagine that it would become such a hit.
Yeah, it is an amazing book, and I think all the people who are joined in to this chat are going to be in for a treat, because along with the discussions we are also going to be posing you with some chess problems. If Praful sir, if you see on the board, you have put up a position which is like mate in with two knights. What is this exactly?
Basically, while teaching elementary mates to the children, so we tell them that like which are the minimal mating material which is required to mate a lone king, and then we start with very simple. Say we start with two rooks, and then to a queen. We can mate with a queen. Then we can mate with one rook. We can mate with double bishop. But we always know that with correct defense, mate with two knights is not possible. But like this position has inspired a lot of peoples, and basically in the medieval times, that this two knights pattern has come down to us through the ages, and this is what we are going to enjoy.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this two knights checkmating a lone king is theoretically possible. Like you see in this position, it's a checkmate, but practically it never happens.
Correct.
The-
So, like here, if ND7 check, the king should have gone to C8, and then there is no mate. But here, the king had gone to E8, and then we find that okay, knight C7
so
is
this, if this is the position, and
yeah.
imagine this was the check given last move, then black should go to C8, but instead of it, black went to A8, and that resulted in a checkmate. So theoretically, it's a mate, but
Yeah, theoretically it's a mate, but with correct defense,
it would
there
be.
is no mate.
Okay, so based on this concept, you want to pose some questions to
Yeah,
the people in the chat today, and I would love that if all of you attempt to solve these positions and try to give the right answer, and Praful sir at the end of it will explain to you why a certain answer is right or why is it not. Okay, this, I think the first one itself is very very tough. So I'm going to give the people some time to think. It's this way, yeah. It is this way. White to move. What is this position? What is the thing that has to be done?
Yes. So basically, like say, we have a lot of checkmating pattern. We know that there is a checkmating pattern in the name of Anderson. Of course, these are all come down as a legend. We have in Greekos is made. We have Anastasia made. Apollo made. So these also a pattern made of two knights, which has been inspired by the position we saw earlier. And this composition is what we say the finale is basically the one which has been like created by players around 1,000 years back. I think in the medieval times, maybe the Arab players for sure. So this is what we say one of the finest composition by a poet called Alfred Musset in 1845. Sarka, he composed this position with white to play and mate in three.
Okay.
So yes.
So white to move and mate in three. That's what your task is. Not at all easy. But everyone here who's thinking, try to think. We have some answers already. Vedant Chakravarti says knight f3, but we'll wait. We'll while people are thinking, let's try to see what they come up with. Meanwhile, sir, if you can show your book to the people, I have it. My copy is here. I always have it with me, and there's your chess course.
Yes.
And actually there are a lot more books behind it.
Yes. So what has happened that later on, this was the first book which was written in 1999, and then naturally I revised it. But in subsequent teaching at my academy, Indian Chess School, we felt that whatever content was there in the chess course is not sufficient, and it needs to be added up. So this call for developing new contents, and that's why I started writing this workbook. So workbooks are basically the one which like we teach from the chess course as the main book, and then the workbook is the follow-up book where students solve. So like for example, this is book 2, and if I have thought, say this starts with elementary checkmate with two rooks, and once I teach them, then they are asked to uh, do it themselves, all the problems on two rooks mate. So there is a practical part. They will learn to deliver checkmate. Normally, we play simultaneously against the student. We take black, they have white, and then they write down this position. And then this is followed by mate in one. So there are two rooks, and position is there, and one of the side has to deliver checkmate.
So whatever you learn in this main book, this is what the workbook kind of reinforces with the positions.
Yes.
And how do you intend to use it now on Unacademy platform? Like how will it be?
Basically, like when the idea came that okay, we want to miss Unacademy had made a foray into chess training. This is of course their recent foray. They are more into academics of engineering or JET or IIT. So then I gave them the idea that okay, if our program is what we say structured and there is a curriculum, then it will definitely attract. But if there is say like we are not able to give any notes to the students, nor we are able to give them any assignment, then the lecture is basically lost both on the student and the teacher. So they like this idea very much. And since they were into academics, they thought, okay, let us do it in this way. And this is how we have come up. So it will be a structured course over 10 levels.
Okay.
We have basically divided into a rating category of 250. So it starts with 0 to 250,
Okay.
and 250 to 500. And that way means like we have final is level 10. So like normal academies, we have standard 1 to 10. In that way, the entire course is divided.
Amazing. So it's basically people right from having zero knowledge in chess can go on, and maybe the last 10th level would be close to something like 1200, 1400 level.
No. Basically, I feel my book means it's what we said does not go to that level. It would be good, say something around maybe 1250 LO. That is all which the 6 books can cover. And a higher level of courses from level 6 and onwards are basically for what we say top trainers of India, IMs and GMs, and who will be taking it over from there. So my idea would be to build a very strong foundation at the formative stage of a student, and from there onwards, the elite trainers can take it forward.
It is so interesting that the people who are going to teach basics at Unacademy are so versatile characters. One is Praful Zaveri, who is like a trainer and an author since so many years, and the other one is Samay Raina, who is a stand-up comedian who is just into chess since last 4 months, but has brought so much of chess popularity. So it's very interesting, yeah, to have you as one of the trainers and Samay as the other one.
His passion is, I was seeing your videos, and his passion towards the game is cannot be simply defined. So it would be, really wonderful to work with him. And I feel, that what is required in this is the passion, and to see that student generate interest. So I feel he is much more capable in delivering this. And I feel that we both will be able to build a very strong foundation for the students at Unacademy, from where on, like the other elite trainers can take it forward.
Brilliant, brilliant. That is so nice to hear. And in the chat, we have Juggernaut who says, "Hello, sir. I used to be a student about 20 years ago in Borivali. Great to see you here. Thank you for being such a great teacher, even for a mediocre student like me." I do not know what his name is, but it is Juggernaut in the chat. So, but he knows you very well.
Oh, I think it's a honor. So many students have gone under me. I feel nothing less than 5,000 students.
5,000 students have learned from you.
Yes.
Tremendous.
So basically, we were into group training, as you are aware, Sagar. So it was never a forte to go for individual training. And of course, it's affordable also and can take it to the masses. So I started teaching in 1994 and onwards. And I feel that every year, yes, by God's grace, we had a very good number of students, and some of them who went on to make a good mark. So I think that is very satisfying for me.
Amazing. Too good. And by the way, people in the chat have also found the answer. I can see Prashant Malik, but I believe it's not Prashant, it's his son Rahil Malik who is giving the answer, who's found the mate in 3. Also,
but I feel Prashant Bhai is also a very strong player, so I would not be surprised, if he has solved.
Yeah.
Yes, so I had interaction with him. We were together at 2014 Asian Schools at Taiwan, where Rahil had won his first gold. So I feel
under 7, yeah, under 7.
Yes, under 7.
Yeah. Also, Uddhav Raj has found the answer. So quite a strong chat. I was under the impression that it would be very difficult for everyone to find. Pratik Mahankal says, "Hello Praful sir, you taught me chess about 7 years ago. It was a great experience."
Thank you, Pratik. Yes, I'm seeing this chat now, and it's a honor. I know his father very well. He was with me in LIC. Pratik, am I correct? Satyavan, your father. So thank you for joining in the show, and it's a great honor for me on this Teachers' Day.
Okay, so sir, tell us the answer to this puzzle. What is the first move? Because the first natural move is to give a check.
Correct. But after king has no move, was only go to D1, then we don't find any further check, because say for example, knight C3, there is a knight on B1 which is controlling all the vital square, so there is no possible check. So idea is basically to create an obstruction for the black king himself by sacrificing the rook. So we can go to rook D2.
Rook D2. Wow, what a so the threat is to checkmate in one move now.
Yes, there is a checkmate in one. Now the king does not have any flight square on D1, so the capture is almost forced, because white is threatening knight F3.
Only move.
Only move. So knight D2, and now a key move that is to play.
Can we ask them to find now?
Yes.
Okay, so guys, all those who found rook D2, please take a point, and all those who haven't found rook D2, here's another chance to get another. So we are giving you one more point here. It's like yesterday what we did with Vidit. The point system keeps you on the toes, and try to be sort of truthful about the point grading system with yourself. Saransh Bangar says, "My 4-year-old sister knows how each piece of chess moves. What type of training should she go through next? Should she practice full games or focus on tactics?" What do you say, Praful sir?
I suggest that at such a young age, tactics are to be encouraged. Let her just play natural game. Do not teach any of the theory. Let it come as a naturally. Like if she understands simple things, that would be a good victory for us in her development.
Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Aditya Raj says, I joined chess in Unacademy, but how to enroll? I'm confused. Please tell. Yeah. So, firstly, I would say subscribe to this channel, YouTube channel. All those who haven't, there is a red button. You can subscribe so that more people get to know about Unacademy, because so much activity is taking place on this channel. You'll always be kept appraised of what's going on. The other thing, I think Praful sir would tell better. I think on the website of Unacademy, there are also courses which people can buy, right?
Yeah. In fact, there is no limit. Say basically the courses are planned for all. Means it is, you can see, like even say for example today Anand's lecture is scheduled.
Ah,
One,
what time?
yeah. It is today. It's 6 to 7 p.m.
Okay.
So yeah, there are 6 lectures which has been scheduled right from 1st September, and today is the third one. So 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11.
Wow.
It is from 6 to 7, and we see, means like I feel on the second class there are more than 1,000 players who had logged in to see him.
Wow. And it is through, if you only enroll for the
Yes,
course, yes?
yes. If you enroll for the course, and today is the last day for this special subscription rate of rupees 99 only for a month. Normal is 1,500. So you can take this subscription of rupees 99, and you will be able to see lectures of any of the trainers. There are 13 grandmasters, and very happy to say that Sagar also is coming on board. So it is wonderful, and you can even in archives, if you are not able to watch it live, whenever you get a time, you can go to the website, download the Unacademy app. You will get all the notifications of the training schedule, and as well on the YouTube. So like some interesting things have taken place in YouTube. We discuss India's golden run in the recently concluded FIDE online Olympiad.
Yeah.
And I feel it will be very beneficial.
Brilliant, brilliant. And so, guys, just check out the website over there. I don't know if the link is in the description, but if it is not, it will be soon put in the description, so that you can just click and you can, because it's the last day to enroll for 99 rupees. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I think it's 1,500 rupees per
1,500,
month.
yes,
So
yes.
it's a big offer. Just try it out for a month, and
Yeah.
it would
Even
be
for
useful.
6 months, it is very nominal, 6,075. And if you take for 1 year, it is only 7,000. So
Okay.
in a way, it amounts to only something around 600 rupees per month.
Yeah, and to learn from Vishy and Vidit and you and so many top trainers is really worth it. All the people in the chat, very strong players, have given the move knight c3. Is this correct?
Yes. This is wonderful. So knight c3, and now we see that in this position, it does not have any flight square.
Yeah, I mean this
So
knight
has
covers
to move. Yes,
both
black
the
is in
squares.
Zugzwang. King cannot move. Only knight has to move. And now any move of the knight, you take, means any square, knight back to home square b1 or b3 or c4 or e4 or f3 results knight f3 check and mate.
So if knight moves anywhere, this
Yeah.
is a
Yes.
checkmate, because, and the king plays a vital role in
Vital.
controlling another two squares.
Yes. So king
But sir, you
prevents-
said one word which was very difficult for me to understand. You said here black is in zugzwang. What do you mean by that?
basically, like we are indebted to Europeans in a lot of ways. They were pioneers in developing chess, and basically the Germans who gave us 3 words, that is Zugzwang, Zwischenzug, and Zeitnot. So let me first come to Zeitnot. So it means when a player is in time trouble, we say it's Zeitnot. And Zwischenzug basically is an intermediate move, an intermezzo, an unexpected move. And Zugzwang is like, means any move which you are going to make is you are going to lose. In chess, we are not allowed to pass a move. We have to compulsorily make a move. In other board game, we can say pass, but not in chess. So here, like whatever, only black has one move, and that is of the knight. And anywhere the knight is moved, it results into checkmate.
Okay, so any move that was made by the black player will result in a loss, and this is known as zugzwang. It means a lack of a move here. Any move that you make will result in your position going bad. So 2 points are done. Guys, anyone who scored 2 out of 2, please write it down. The moves that you had to find were rook d2 first move, and the second move was knight c3. So if you have found both these moves, you get 2 out of 2. Let's go to the next one. I think this is going to be even more interesting. It's actually a pattern first for you to understand, and this is what I like about Praful sir. He basically first teaches you what it's about, and then he tests you.
Yes.
So what is can you explain this? It's very nice.
Yes. So
All 4 knights.
Ultimately, like we saw in the Muse problem, the last previous one, where there was one knight which helped in delivering checkmate. So here now we see that 2 knights are obstructing. This is a position basically which has come down to us through ages. I got to read it somewhere, and then I have now passed on this to the next generation. So basically, I would like to relate this with a story, Sagar, if I have your permission.
Sure. Oh,
Yeah,
story
okay.
is my favorite thing.
Okay. So can you we see this position? It is a mate with 2 knights. Both the black knight are obstructing the king, and it's checkmate. So can you take us to the next position wherein we start the story?
Sure. So this is the next one. I'm just setting it up.
So this position is nearly 600 years old. We don't know who the composer was, and maybe it might be older than that, say during the time of Persians or maybe the Arabs. So this story is related through what we say olden days, medieval time. Let us imagine a Persian bazaar. So like all of you must be aware that chess originated in India. We are very proud that this is our gift to the world.
Sure.
And from here, the game traveled to Persia in around 5th century. Of course, we know the game as Chaturanga, even not in the modern times, but also goes back to antiquity in the times of Mahabharata and in the times of Ramayana. We have a reference. Of course, we don't know who this inventor was or whether this invention was done during when science and art reigned supreme, or was it done during the tainted, in a war. But definitely the person who must have devised it must be absolutely brilliant. So this position basically is like game travel to Persia, and they took a liking. They really developed this game, and from there to the Arab world, and Arab world put in enormous contribution. So this story basically relates to a Persian bazaar. Imagine a Persian bazaar in around 6th century, the days of barter. You see a marketplace getting, people bringing in different types of people to purchase, to sell. And amidst this, you will find, jugglers, magicians. And there was one wise man, an old man in tattered clothes, who was, who had set up a chessboard. And he was shouting, easy money, easy money. Like if I relate this to in our mela, like जो अपने यहाँ पे मेला होता था, there used to be people, jugglers. Oh, like you must have seen, they had 3 coins in their hands, plastic type of disc, very small disc, and below the base there are felt. So there are like 2 red felts as we have on the base of the pieces, and one is say like green. And then he would juggle that 3 discs in his hand and put the disc, and then he would ask people to place a bet. Come on which color is the green one? Okay. So like you have a split second to see where it was green, and then they would put in money. And like these movements were so fast with this that it is difficult to imagine where exactly that odd color is there. So that was how, all these things used to happen in such a market. And here this old man, a wise man, had set up a chessboard and was shouting at the top of his voice, easy money, easy money. And suddenly, onlookers gathered. And he said, well, all you have to do is to find a mate in 2. And like, we feel that anybody who is looking at this always feels, okay, I'm a strong chess player, and goes on to find mate in 2. So the first task, find mate in 2.
Okay. And should we go to the next one, or because there's no white king?
First, we can allow them to find the mate in two, and then the story continues in the next
Oh,
position.
okay. Interesting, interesting. Because a lot of people in the chat are asking, there is no white king. So, guys, this is part of the story. This is planned. So, find mate in two for white. Anyway, the king is not here right now. So, with the pieces, try to find the mate.
So I feel most of them have, I see Nakshatra asking no king, and Shiva Gautam has already given solutions. So has Meet Pawar and Prajay Giri.
Yeah, a lot of people, in fact, have found it. Saharsh Reddy, even if you go up, Ritesh Valavalkar, lot of them have found it. So you can reveal the answer. How should white play here?
Yeah, so it is like that's all of us given. It is Rook F2. So this again forces capture by the knight. Knight captures F2, and now we have Knight G3 check and mate. And so like we reach the position which was in the previous one, that how the pattern of mate of two knights come.
Absolutely.
So the person who had shown this and was very happy that he has been able to find a correct solution. But all of a sudden, the wise man interrupts. So, Sagar, can we please go to the next position?
Okay.
And then the wise man says, "Oh, I'm a forgetful old man, and I have forgot to put my king. So how can a problem be complete without putting my king?" So here, what he does, he puts the king on G4 and says, "Come on, friends, now find mate in two." And you know, they all have to bet a coin, a sort of a, what we say, the one which was used in that days. There was no money, so they used to barter with this. So they put a coin, maybe a gold coin, and the person who had given the solution very confidently, you know, he said, "Okay, nothing changes," and went on to give the same reply: Rook F2, Knight captures F2, and Knight G3 checkmate.
Ooh.
But the old man said, "You lose, dear friend, because when you play Rook F2, my move Knight into F2 comes with a check, so there is no mate." People started laughing, and the person who had very confidently shown in the first this one had to part with his coin.
Oh, so is it still mate in two in this position?
This will not mate in two.
This is not. Okay.
This is not.
So what should here be the answer? Is this part of the puzzle?
No, yeah, that's why Miss Yes, you know, Trick, the wise old man was, I feel, was a very strong player, and he used to make his money by setting up such positions, showing people his what we say prowess in chess, and that was the trick which he used to earn money.
Oh.
And now, you know, he offers back to say give one more chance to the person who has lost, or other persons who want to say show the solution and win. Okay, and so he says, okay, the story continues. Okay, say, dear friend, don't worry, you have lost one coin, no problem. Here is a chance to get it back. What I'm doing is I'm not putting the king on G4, and I'm putting the king on H3. Sagar, can we just go to the next position? Yeah.
Sure. I'm enjoying this story like anything. Very interesting. I want to see what happens next. Okay.
Okay. And so he says, come on, now tell me whether there is a mate in two. So the person who had, you know, lost his gold coin, he says, no. There is means you have to, now there was condition also, you have to give correct reply apart from finding a solution. So the first task was that the person who betted have to give a reply that whether there is a mate in two or not. So this person said, no. Now there is no mate in two, because now if I play rook into rook F2 check, then knight into F2 is coming with the same. The king is on H3, G4, it is analogous. So there is no mate. But can you find a mate? The wise old man says you lose again. Why?
Okay, so this is for the fourth point. The third point was this rook F2, knight G3 mate in the first puzzle. So all those who have found that get 3 points. And this is the fourth one. You have to find mate in 2 here, which is very interesting. A mate in 2 wasn't possible in the previous one when the king was on g4. Now it is on h3. So can you find a mate in 2?
So we are already seeing some interesting replies. Take time, and I think this is real challenge. And imagine what chess must be at that time. Unfortunately, we do not have any surviving game of these great players. We had the 10th century Arab player in Al Adli, Al Suli, Laj, and they have composed this wonderful Mansuba, which are still relevant, are being still shown today. And I think everybody sees it. They are going to fall in love with this wonderful game, or their love or their passion for the game is increased. Only unfortunate part is we do not have Sagar a full game. I feel maybe you are much more into also this part, or maybe Frederick, if they can find like whether there is such old surviving game like chess-based database source earliest as a 1476
Yeah, 1400. Yeah, somewhere close to 1400 is the first game. But you are saying that the first game is actually somewhere in before that. Yeah, like
Yeah, yeah.
1000.
Yes. Because during when the game went to Arabs, and the real development came from the Arabs, and basically in the court of Caliph, or what we say, the Naushirwan, during the Persian time, the chess players were patronized heavily. They were given a lot of money. They were given a lot of respect. And during this time, we like say that the first player who means got a very good name was Al Adli, and later on
Al
followed by
Adli.
Al
Okay.
Suli. And these people have composed such problems. So problems are surviving. But unfortunately, like it is said that a match took between Al Adli and Laj, and then whereon the later went on to one means the championship. But the only unfortunate part is we do not have a full game,
How,
only
how,
segment.
how do people read more about this Al Adli? Because it's the first time I'm listening to this. Al Adli, Laj, all these players. How can someone get more
I
knowledge?
I feel means everybody in love of chess should read history of chess. So like there are basically what we say, if we take the historians in the order, the first was Sir William Jones. So he was nominated to the then court of Calcutta, and he was like in love with Oriental languages, and basically chess was his forte. So he started finding out the origin of the game. And then he thought that he could not do this work alone. He has to take someone's help. And he took the help of a Brahmin named Radhakant. And they were able to find out like the references of chess in the period of Mahabharata, and beyond that in the period of Ramayana. Like for example, Radhakant says that chess was invented by Mandodari, wife of King Ravan, because like Ravan was losing the war, and to keep up his morale, she invented this game of warfare, and which like was a big stimulator for Ravan.
Okay.
We exactly don't know, of course, these are legends. So then we have the story of Radhakant, and then later on we have one more historian by name Sir Duncan Forbes, and he has specifically put it's a Sagar. It's a very good book written in the year 1860, and from the regarding the game of chess from the origin in India to the Western civilization. What's a beautiful book, and there he mentions in one of the page that chess was invented during the time of Mahabharata. He did not go into the time of Ramayana, and he gave a quote from Bhavishya Puran, wherein Prince Yudhishthir asks, he asked Ved Muni Vyas, what is this game and how this checkmate can be achieved? And then, like we all know that in Mahabharata, Yudhishthir had lost with a dice. But there, Ved Muni Vyas, gives him all the rules of the game, also tells him the movement. So at that point of time, like it was chess was a 4-player game. And there, but you see the pieces, whatever he has described are means as it is. Okay, later on they underwent, bishop had undergone change, queen had undergone change, but the pieces of the rook, movement of the rook and the knight and the king is as it is.
Amazing.
So this was
This
like
is
Sir Duncan Forbes, and later on, then one of the biggest was what we say a history of chess written in 1913 by H.J.R. Murray. I have his original edition, Sagar. It's around work of 10 years, a decade, which bore in the fruits means like 1000 pages. So that is where all this thing is contained.
Amazing, amazing. So, such a nice historical lesson you have given us, so much knowledge. And while you were speaking, a lot of people have found the answer to this puzzle with Rook takes G2, and they actually understand your concept of Zugzwang, where they say that now black has to make a move, and so he has to move this knight, and once
Yes.
the knight moves, this is a checkmate on F2. Is this correct?
Yes, this is correct. So here now, the person who was giving the answer, he was strict. He could not means like what would say identify what does the difference of king on g4 and h3 make? It is coming with a check. So, but he was not able to understand that now here instead of rook f2 check, mate can be achieved by rook into g2, and now it is zugzwang. So any move which black makes with the knight results into check and mate.
Brilliant. So 4 points, guys. All those who found the move rook into g2, that gives you one additional point. Harsh Patel says, Praful Zaveri sir, make a concise version of chess course for adult beginners.
I think
I think on Unacademy, maybe they will get it in a concise way.
No, basically the idea is to teach as it is, but I will, what we say, I think spent all these years writing, and I don't know now how this book can be improved. But anyway, thank you very much, Harsh Patel, and let us see what can be done in this regard.
Okay. Okay. So
Fine.
how does this, is the story still on?
Yeah, so story is still on, and this
Okay.
is the last part. So again, like when the move rook g2 was shown, the person had to part with his second dirham, second coin, and again everybody started laughing when the wise old man showed the move rook captures g2. But then like he was again says, okay friend, now you have lost 2 dirhams, and here is your chance to take it back all with the bonus that if you are able to find correct answer, I will pay you 4 dirhams.
Okay.
So with him, everybody started putting in, and so here the question was, the position is the same, but the old wise man added a little foot soldier on c4 and said, come on, now tell me whether there is a mate in 2 or not.
Okay.
So that will be your first question.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So, guys, the first question is there mate in 2 in this position or not? Try to think about it. How does the addition of that pawn change things? Does it change anything? Don't make a mistake, or else you lose more dirhams. Here's your chance to win back 4 dirhams actually. This is for the 5th point. Is there a mate in 2 moves here? Okay. Chinmay Lolage says yes, there is mate. Anmol Srivastav says no, there is no mate. Raman Chandrakar says yes. Shahid Hussain says yes. Manikanta says no. Prajay Giri says no. So there is like yes, no, yes, no. Uddhav Raj says there is mate in 3. Very interesting. No, no, no. I think the audience is not 100% sure. They are like that man in the Persian bazaar. They are like, oh, what should I do? Is there a mate or not? Atul Dahale is here. He says no, because second move is c3 is coming here. Okay, we have one more educator in the chat, Atul, who is also teaching at Unacademy.
And an expert educator, a very popular educator, Sagar. He is in the top of the list and the most favored.
Amazing. Very good friend of ours. And, yeah. So, what's the answer? Who do you think yes or no? What's the answer, sir?
So what happened? The person who had already betted and lost 2 gold coin did not mind losing in another one, and he did not feel like what is that mere pawn on c4 is going to do, and said yes, there is a mate, and he betted more amount and went on to play Rook captures G2. And like as we had seen in previous problem that black was in zugzwang because there is no mate at all. But now here this little foot soldier of Philidor does the trick. Black played c3 and now we see that there is no mate. So the old wise man gathered all the coins from that person who had lost. That person was dejected and then simply folded up his chessboard and then went away from there. He has earned his booty, and then sought a new place and again set up the chessboard over there and started shouting at the top of his voice, easy money, easy money.
Amazing, amazing. It's not an easy money. You should know zugzwang. You should know so many concepts if you need this money. But such a very nice way to teach the concept of zugzwang, I feel, and also the mate with two knights, because now the knight controls these two critical squares. If the knight didn't control g3, then knight g3 was a mate. If the knight didn't control f2, then rook f2 was a mate. But both of them are controlled and you unfortunately cannot mate in two moves. Brilliant. All those who said it's not a mate in two moves, please take a point. This one was the fifth point in the puzzle. Shall we move on to the next one?
Yes, we can move on now to the next one.
Okay. And now this is very interesting because we have now more pieces on the board, and let's see, there are some very quick calculators here. So it's what's the task here?
Yeah. So now up till now what we had seen was composed, means they were composed by the players, and now we come to the actual game. So it's a period that was before and this is now. So yes, these patterns reach in the actual game. So here now the task is very simple. You have learned the idea, you have seen the pattern of two knights, how do they mate? So come on, here it's a task, mate in two, and similar idea. But what has happened, this is from the actual game that were composed positions. So now it is what we say, now you have identified the pattern. I feel this you should be getting it very quickly.
So it's
black
like
to play,
yeah,
and mate in two.
black to play and mate in two. It's like you did your morning warm up and now it's time to run the actual race. This is a position from the game and let's see if you guys can solve it. Omkar Chakradev, super quick. Yeah, Omkar Chakradev is very quick. Raman Chandrakar, fantastic job. Also, Girish Kumar Kaneganti, well done. Raja Babu Gajengi is here. Raja Babu, that's right. Yes.
Our one more educator.
Yeah, Raja Babu, I was just seeing today in the before this in the afternoon he was talking about the games of Harika, and fantastic. Good to see you, Raja Babu, here. I think people are just have understood this concept of two knights excellently. They are all getting the answers. Kala Periwal, Jayam Chess, Dipesh Shah, Ruma Paul, Saharsh Reddy, Rainer Gonzalez, Max Less Gaming, Laksh, Gangesh Borse. Yeah, a lot of people have found the right answer. Sir, so what's the move here?
Yes, I think all of them have done exceedingly well, and that too very quick, and really happy with their involvement in the game. So it's a mate with Atul Bhai was asking whether there's a mate. Yes, it's a mate. So it's a queen g2. That is the key move. We sacrifice the queen. So rook obstructs this g2 square. And now we see that king has no flight square. And now we see knight on g3 controlling h1 and f1. And knight h3 delivers check and mate by controlling g1 and f2.
Brilliant.
So this is how we normally, like when we teach at our school. So it goes with storytelling is the main part. This sustains the interest of the students. And then we like come to this difficult part. Of course, these lessons are given when they achieve what we say a good level. So I do not treat this as mate into when they like are solving in the earlier time.
Yeah. So basically, sir, when you will teach on Unacademy, you will indulge in a lot of storytelling. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I think that is the best way to develop a passion in a player. they get interested with these ideas.
I believe that no one here who attended this is going to forget about this story of the Persian Bazaar. It's like once you say it, it's there in their head. 2 nights on the board, you see that wise old man. He seems like this man with all these wrinkles on his face, and he's sitting there with his hat. I'll remember this.
Thank you, Sagar.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Yeah.
And this one is again white to move, and this time what's the thing to do?
Yeah, so this is an extension, and so again this is an actual game over the board tournament, and now we can make it a bit difficult, but the idea is very simple. So it's white to play and mate in 3.
Okay, so this is white to play and mate in 3. If I'm not mistaken, this is the 6th point here.
Yes.
One of our viewers says, when will IIFL happen? Yeah, it's a good question actually. Praful sir has been responsible for conducting the IIFL tournament for now nearly 5 years. Is that true?
Yeah. We completed 5 years, and like it was a very great coincidence that as you all are aware, Anand is the patron of this event, and we had Anand's 50th birthday last year. We had some fantastic articles on Chessways regarding Sagar had done a wonderful job on that. So basically that was the 5th year of IIFL and also the 50th birthday of Anand. So we actually had a theme. It was called 550. And IIFL had lived to its commitment of doing a yeoman service for chess in India. Unfortunately, that means this event will not be continued, but let us hope, there is always a chance for miracle to happen. They had committed for 5 years. They have done that. We all are grateful to them.
Yeah.
Karan Bhagat and Ronak Seth.
Let's see. I think something will come up. Something will happen. Chess being so popular now with so many people playing, who knows? They may extend it and there will be more tournaments.
But Sagar, we have to, hope is the best of things, and we have to believe that it will happen.
So in this position, if you look here, the queen is pinning the rook and also taking here. So actually black is on the offensive. White has to do something now. And I believe that a lot of people in the chat have found the answer, which is, if you can tell the answer, that would be great. So how does it continue?
Yes, I think all of them have given wonderful. Maybe we can wait for some time.
Yeah.
Okay,
sure. Shubh Tripathi, you are right. Janil Patel, great job. Saharsh Reddy, also right. I think now with these examples, they are not so shy to sacrifice their queen.
Yes.
Harshit Dawar says, your chess course helped a lot. Thank you so much. Guys,
thank you, Harshit.
All the people for whom chess course has helped, and all those who are beginning their journey in chess, I believe this is one of the finest books out there. I have read it from end to end. I still remember one of the mornings when I had a school bus that was going to come. It was around 20 minutes left. I opened the book and I was solving these puzzles, and it's still there. There are amazing puzzles in this related to pin, fork, end game, middle game, different tactical motives, mating motives, and all of these things now. Praful sir is now going to the next stage where he is digitizing it and will be available on Unacademy platform. So I guess it's the best way to learn chess. Would be wonderful. Yeah, sir. So can we have a look at the answer?
Yes. So I think all of this, they have given correct answer. We go with the same idea, but first we won't be sacrificing queen. First, we will take advantage of the pin on the pawn on h7. So we'll start with knight g6 check. And now this forces the king to g8. The pawn cannot capture this. And now, of course, the previous position idea is repeated. So we have queen to g7 check. Rook captures g7. And now we have to control the flight square f7. And of course, the square g8, the king is standing. So it is knight h6 mating. So, Sagar, these two positions basically are there in the chessboards in the earlier part, like in Matin 1, Matin 2, and Matin 3. So, this is a part of Matin 3, and the previous one was part of Matin 2. So, what I did for higher level of students, of course, this was easy for them to solve Matin 2, but like when I relate them with the story earlier of the medieval times, it makes the pattern like very easy for them to recognize.
Absolutely, absolutely. Two knights mate. How it works on the chessboard is very, very clear from this example. And guys, this is just an example of how Praful sir's courses would be on the Unacademy platform. If he's teaching about, say, fork, he will be giving you examples with stories, with very nice examples. And if he's teaching about pin, if he's teaching about any concept, this is how it would be. And I'm very happy that I managed to learn something today. Is there one more position out of all of this that you would say, can we give it to the viewers? How about this Arturo Pomar?
Yes, we can show Pomer's position. Sagar, please permit me to say something about these positions.
Definitely.
So, Pomer, friends, as you are aware, one of the great Spanish giant, a player who has made tremendous contribution, a grandmaster. And so we feel, okay, this composition, it's find mate in 3 with two rooks. There is a pawn on h7, and like kings are in opposition on what we say e5 and e7. So like, okay, that we feel that what is the contribution of this grandmaster in creating such a simple composition? Mate in 3 can be achieved. But what was amazing was that Pomer composed this at the age of 9, Sagar.
Nine.
So I feel,
9.
yes.
Amazing.
Uh, so maybe you can throw more light on Pomer because you know almost everything. This one like one of the prodigious chess talent.
Yeah. I mean, great talent, but to compose something at the age of 9 requires special talent. I know that nowadays people can play a good game at the age of 9, but to compose a position like this, so is it like white to move and mate in 2 or 3?
No, it is mate in 3.
3. So mate
3.
in 3 moves here. Pomar is the person who composed this. It's very tricky. You have two rooks. You also have a pawn that is about to queen, but this king is very slippery. You know, it will start running here, here, here. It is running everywhere. How can you exactly catch him in 3 moves? That is the question. And I think you learn a lot of things if you're able to solve it. Let's see. I think we should give them some
Yes.
time.
Yes.
By the way, we have Vivek Sohani in the chat, one of India's very fine arbiters, who is also learning, and he says, "Very good night mates, Praful sir."
Thank you, Vivek. We're fortunate to have you in our tournament. A tremendous worker and an emerging arbiter. Will going to hear a lot about him in future.
Yeah. So, people are also asking, will you teach how to learn notations?
Definitely, yes. I see this question here, and Umar Khan asks, "Is it how to write notation?" Well, that is very, very important. That is the most important part. Otherwise, you will not be in a position to read chess books or go through the chess software. And of course, FIDE rule also stipulates that while playing at a tournament, you are required to write move after move. So learning notation is in fact very simple. The system, which is basically known as algebraic system, uses what we say of identifying, giving names to all these 64 squares on the chessboard through a division. Basically, it's a coordinate line locating a map on a place. So we have 8 files standing rows named A to H, and then we have 8 horizontal rows named 1 to 8. And if we coordinate this, we get a square name. So for example, the left hand corner to the white player is the black colored square is A1. And if you can locate A1, then you can locate all the 64 squares. And these 5 pieces in king, queen, rook, bishop, and knight, they have their symbol. So that is basically their first letter. So king is K, written in capital, queen Q, rook R, bishop B. And since we are already using king for K for king, the knight is identified by the second letter N, and pawn, of course, more without the letter P. So this is the way how we note it again. I think it will take only few minutes practice for you to understand what are the notations being written over here.
Brilliant. Yeah, it takes very less time to learn the notation, but if you become an expert at it, you will start calculating very well, and I think it's important. So there will be one, I think, section definitely dedicated to learning chess notations.
I think Samay is going to take that, so I think it will be much more interesting than me.
Okay, fantastic, fantastic. Harshit Dawar says, I forgot to thank you, Sagar. Happy Teachers' Day to you. You were the one who suggested each and every book in your videos, from chess course to Silman and Dvoretsky books. Well, thank you, Harshit. Very kind of you. And also, I would say, once again, guys, chess course is really fantastic. And is this position also there in chess course?
Yes, I have included this in book 6.
Okay.
So when I wrote this 6 workbook up to 2012, means I started writing this workbook in 2012, and initially I just completed 4. So they were released at that point of time. But again, then I thought that contents were not sufficient. So in 2017, I started rewriting book number, expanded 4. So it came as 5 and 6. So this is in book 6.
Unbelievable. How you started writing chess course in 1990? 1999. So it's work of nearly 20 years. You kept on updating it. The last update came in 2017.
Yeah. So last update was in 2017.
So it's
and
like
further corrections. Yes.
18 years you have been constantly working on it. Are you happy now with the final product, or you are still like, no, I can make it better?
I feel, always I feel no author is satisfied that their work is complete, and I feel, okay, I have not included checkmating pattern, what we are discussing now in the chess course. We have included mating 1, mating 2, but that are random. And then I feel that, okay, one more chapter has been left out. So basically, like what you say, it is authors are never satiated, but I feel would not be making any further changes, excepting to remove few errors which are crept in the books.
Okay. 7th point here in this position is tough one. People are struggling. So I think you will have to reveal the answer. But before that, Umar Khan says, I understood the notation in 1 minute. Thank you so much, sir.
Oh, thank you. That's a great
just this, your explanation was enough for him to understand what was going on. So how should you solve this? What's the right answer?
I think a lot of them, let me see how people have gone with the answer. I was seeing from this, from the start, and then we see everybody started with, I think, Rook A4.
Yes.
But that is not the correct way. Let me see whether any of them has given the correct solution. Not Dweep Modi, he also says Rook A4. Rainier says Rook A4. Vraj Patel says Rook A4.
But Rook A4 should work, right? In this position?
No, I feel Rook A4 should not work.
Because Black King has 2 squares here or here, and wherever it goes, like let's say it goes here, you put your rook on the file next to it and kind of block it from this. This rook blocks it from the 4th rank, and this rook blocks him from here. So the moment king goes back to e5, there is rook g5 mate. And if you go to d5, then if you go rook c8, you have to go back.
Sagar. Yes. I'm sorry. Yes. So rook a4 works. And my apologies to all of you. I think you have improved on, and that's always there. So you improved on the solution to the original solution given by Pomer. He started with rook g8.
He started with... No, rook a4 is the move, yeah? Rook g8, you think? Because now if rook g8, if I go here...
Okay, I think so. Yes,
yes.
Sorry.
Rook a4 is the correct.
I got confused in my problems, and I'm really sorry. So rook a4, friends.
No, sir, you don't have to be sorry. This is the right move, and a lot of people have found it. And this is really very commendable that people in the chat were able to understand that the king has to be cut off from the rank. And once you cut the king off from the rank here, wherever the king goes, you need to cut off from the file.
Yes. So apologies once again to all of you for confusing a bit. In fact, I was confused. Maybe I was lost somewhere in some other position. because like I'd given a lot of around 10 more positions of similar idea to Sagar, so it was confusing with one of
Yeah,
them.
no problem.
Yeah.
Sir, this is something very interesting because it's like you are enveloping the black king from the rank, from the file, forcing him to go back. And here's a checkmate. So you see this rook covers the fifth rank, this covers the fourth rank, and the white king also working together. And if the black king went to d5, then you have
Rook C8.
rook c8 and cutting the king in this file, and the rook cuts off on this rank, and then eventually you have to go to e5, and there is rook c5 checkmate. Brilliant work by Pomar. I cannot even compose this at the age of 30. He did it at the age of 9. Tremendous work. 7 points, sir, were at stake. Let's see how people have done. Guys, you can write down your score in the chat and let us know if you how many points have you scored. And sir, how has been the Teachers' Day for you today? Have you received a lot of calls, messages?
Lot of messages right from the morning. In fact, not been able to reply to many of them because a lot of time went for preparation of this what we say this session, and I already had a normal session at our Indian chess school. So it
Well,
was like
that's the life of a teacher. Yeah, he cannot stop preparing material for the students. So brilliant work. And I think if all the students who learned from you were to thank you, the number would go over 100,000 people, because so many books, so many people have read your books. It's unbelievable
thank
how
you.
one person can make chess so popular. And that is Praful sir for you here. There are people writing down their scores. Mit Pawar 6 out of 7, Shahid Hussain 4, Sandeep Dwivedi 2, Janil Patel 5, Dweep Modi 7, Shubh Tripathi 7, 6. A lot of scores here. So guys, well done, well tried, all of you. I think as Vidit rightly pointed out yesterday, it's important to keep trying rather than always getting the full score. So all those who have tried, very nice. And sir, any final words to people?
Yeah. So maybe Sagar, I don't know whether we have time to show one more position of what we say the Walter Pulitzer composition, which Steinitz found it very difficult.
The last one.
Not last one. No, no, not last one. Yeah, this one. Yes, sorry. Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, let's
Yes.
go for it.
Yes, I think so. This should be the final and very quick. Of course, it took a lot of time. So what I want to say that you should go through a drill. If you want to become a good chess player, your training regimen should include a lot of drill. You should solve a lot of tactics. You should look at a lot of classical games. We have this advantage of chess-based database, which has all these games, and you should read a lot of books, very good books. Classical games solve a lot of end game. So if you follow this drill, then I think nobody can stop you from becoming a good chess player, can fulfill your ambition. So here I have a story of Steinitz. Okay. You know, who would solve this, go through the drill every day. It's like having a cup of coffee for him. And this is a composition of 1907. It's Metin 2. And when this was given to Steinitz, he could not solve it in 15 minutes. And then initially he thought that, there is some problem in the composition, that it is not correct. But then, like if we see the humility in the words, whatever he had written, he says that means the mistake was my own. The composition is highly original and difficult. And he says this is the first time in 15 years that I have failed to solve a regular two mover, which is for my evening dessert.
Wow. So William Steinitz, as everyone would know, is the first world champion of chess, and he was given this position. This is composed by Walter Pulitzer, yes?
Yes, again, it was composed in around 1907. It appeared in Laskar's short-lived journal called Chess Players' Scrapbook. And there, this was given that Steinitz. This were his own words, which Steinitz mentioned that I could not solve this, and he saluted Pulitzer for this beautiful composition.
Okay, it's tricky. Yeah, you have to checkmate black in 2 moves here. Few of the people in the chat are saying g5 g6 is the move here. They feel that you should push the pawn. Another answer says knight f5, knight f5, queen h3. But guys, look, it's not a mate. The knight comes to g3 and somehow you will get a mate in 3, not a mate in 2. So find the answer. Try to find knight e2, says Omkar Chakradev. Okay, Omkar, is there a defense? Try to look at it to your move. Umar Khan says, by today's session, though I scored less, I think I will soon come up in chess. That's the right attitude. That's just the perfect attitude you need. So the funny thing is that after you take on f5, knight f5, it seems like queen h3 is a mate, but the knight blocks. Then if not queen h3, you see bishop b6 looks like a mate, but knight d4 blocks. So it's a tricky thing, yeah. Like queen comes here, it's blocking from there. Knight comes, it's blocking from there. So you have to break this kind of situation. Is there anyone until now who's found the right answer? Not yet. Not yet.
Brilliant. In fact, Sagar, when I was, just trying, when I put this position in book 6, and I was trying to check it with the engine, then engine was also, showing mate in 3. I don't know if my hardware is insufficient, but maybe you can try, and whether engine can find out this.
I don't think that the modern engine would have any difficulty finding this mate in 2. Let me see if what Stockfish comes up with. I have just loaded, and within a second it finds mate in 2.
Yes,
so Stockfish has become stronger.
I was using Deep Fritz.
Okay.
So that found mate in 3.
Very tough. Oh, Reena Soni has found the answer. Very nice, Reena. Well done. Very tough move. Actually, how do you solve such a position? It's so crazy. You have to look at your king moves. You have to look at your knight moves. You have to look at your bishop. So many moves for the bishop. You have to think about rook, queen, pawn. I mean, it looks tough. I don't blame Stenitz for not solving this.
And more important was, rather than the solution, was the humility shown by him. That, means he accepted that his failed to.
True.
Yeah.
So I would say one way, if I can think of a way, is that any check to the black king is a mate, because the rook kind of controls this file, this rank, and pawn controls this. So if I give a check with the knight, it should be a mate anywhere. But the problem is this knight defends the bishop. I want to give a check with the queen, but the bishop controls that square. So the first move, by that logic, should be something. I mean, I'm still not very clear how to explain this, how to solve. Maybe it's just by method of elimination. Yeah, you look at every move. What would you say? What's the answer, sir? Can you reveal?
Yeah. Means like what we saw in this, it is queen f6. That is the key move. And now again we see that black is in zugzwang. Offers this king cannot move. And now we have possible moves from knight. So if knight moves.
Yeah, knight moves. Say
what you showed this idea.
This is mate.
Yes.
Okay, so knight cannot move.
Yes.
What if king moves here?
Yeah. And so now we can have queen captures e5, whether that is mate. We have support of the bishop on c7.
Yeah, this is a checkmate.
And if bishop moves anywhere, we can have queen f2 check and mate.
Yeah, if bishop moves somewhere, let's say take this pawn.
Yeah.
Then I think queen f3.
Queen f3 check. Yes,
is a mate.
Yes.
And if I play king f4, now g4 square is where I want to run away here. But I think it's very important to control these two squares now. So again, I think knight f5.
Knight, yes.
No, but knight f5 there. Okay, pinned. So you can't push. Very nice. Queen f6. So my question is, okay, let me say, why does not queen d6 work? I'm just trying to understand logically. I think bishop e4. and there's no queen coming to f2 for a mate here. So the
Yes,
queen
yes.
has to be here. That's the point. Okay, okay, got it. If queen f6, if I go e4 in this position, here we have to find a mate in this one, because knight f5 will be met with king
King f4.
f4. Oh no, king f4, it's controlled by the
No, it's
bishop,
controlled by the bishop. So
so it's a
anyway, that
mate.
bishop, yeah. So with
But he can take, so this doesn't work. Knight f5.
okay, so here what about say rook b3?
Yeah, that's the mating move. Rook b3 is the
Yes,
correct move.
yes, yes.
You have to be flexible. Not always the rook needs to be. Once the pawn comes ahead, this is a mate. Brilliant. Yeah, I think everyone has kind of grasped now. Queen f6, I think, is a move that you find by brute force of calculation. Like you look at every move and you sort of figure out. Very nice problem. I think I'll use this once to with some of the players and see if how they fare. But it was a absolute pleasure talking to you, Praful sir. Thank you so much for
Thank
sparing
you.
time on Teachers Day, and also for doing such phenomenal work. And guys, if you want to be a part of this learning process with Praful sir, then join in the Unacademy subscription. Subscribe to this channel first of all, which will keep you updated, and then go to the website and become a member today. There's an offer going on at 99 rupees for 1 month. Try it out. If you enjoy it, you can extend it. If you don't, then well, doesn't matter, but you should try it out. And that is all from my end, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Sagar. It's been a wonderful session. First time, and I'm really privileged and honored to be with Sagar. It's a big moment for me, a day I will never forget in life. And it's a special day too because it's a Teachers' Day. And I thank all the viewers who were here for wonderful participation in this what we say session.
Yeah.
And I feel I learned a lot of things from you too. Thank you very much once again, Sagar, and all the viewers.
Okay. See you guys. Bye bye, sir.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Thank you. Thank you.